You know, that's one of the great things about ICAST is getting to see all the new baits. And here at Megabass, I'm fortunate enough to be a part of this company, and they've got some really killer, cool stuff that's out this year. You know, this one right here is called the Eeler. It's a multi-jointed bait that kind of represents an eel. It's got a really subtle action coming through the water. It's one of those things I see just working phenomenally well down south, like at Lake Okeechobee, places like that. It's just a really, really neat, unique bait. There's nothing else like that on the market. This one, it's got a really dear spot in my heart because it's a big bait. I love big bait, trying to catch big fish. You know, I feel like so many people out there, the market's saturated with, you know, just the 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch baits. Fish don't see these big baits near as often. This is the Megabass Grenade, and it's just a big profile, big shad, big bluegill style baits. And it's not going to dive too deep. You know, there's some other manufacturers that got big square bills out there. The problem I have with them, they get too deep. You know, a lot of times when I'm fishing this bait, it's stained, muddy water, and those fish are shallow to begin with. So I need a bait that doesn't get too deep. This bait here is going to run the perfect depth in those situations. Completely unique right here. You look at this, you think, man, that's just a rattle bait. It's vibration ultra, something like that. It's not. This bait suspends. It's going to be a bait when I'm fishing really shallow grass beds. I can stop that bait over a hole in the grass, and it's going to suspend right there over that hole and not sink to the bottom really quick. So it's going to be another presentation that I can use over those grass situations, down the sides of docks, and that bait's going to suspend in place when I stop retrieving. All right, right here, this is super cool. It's the Megabass iJack. This thing is a wake bait. You know, it's one of the funnest baits in my arsenal to fish, and it's going to be a bait that's going to work, you know, on Table Rock, on Lake of the Ozarks, Grand, Bull Shoals, those places where we throw those wake baits. But what's unique about this is the rattle. It's got one single rattle, and when this thing's rolling coming through the water, it's just unbelievably loud. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's a completely patented system. You can see that rattle lays on an arm that's perfectly balanced, and it just goes back and forth just like that as it hits the sides of the bait. And then finally, last year at ICAST, one of the best baits here at the show was the STW square bill crankbait, and we had it in two sizes, the 1.2 and the 1.5. Like I said earlier, I love big baits. This is the new 2.0. It's just a bigger version of those first two. Has all the same great characteristics of the 1.2 and the 1.5. It's got the knife edge, the dimple in the head, the back treble hook on top. All those things combined to make this bait have a hunting action coming through the water. You know, something that all square bill fishermen are looking for. It's very buoyant. It's going to be a bait that's great anywhere across the country where you got a good square bill bite. And again, with all Megabass baits, you know, it just gives me a ton of confidence to have a bait that has such a realistic finish on it. There's no other baits in the market that has the paint job, the finishes that look as real as the Megabass baits.